If you look at traditional businesses, you'll almost always spot this one massive problem. Isolated silos. Think about it. Finance uses one software, the warehouse is on another, and HR? Well, they're doing something completely different. It's chaotic, it's slow, and honestly, it causes massive data discrepancies. So, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to demystify the ultimate solution to all that chaos, SAP. We're going to look at how it acts as the literal digital nervous system of modern business, replacing all those fragmented silos with just a single unified platform. Now, you might be wondering, what actually connects a warehouse barcode scanner directly to a CEO's global balance sheet in just milliseconds? I mean, it sounds like magic, but it's really just incredibly well-architected enterprise software. To really wrap our heads around SAP, I want you to think about the anatomy of an enterprise. Imagine a company as a living, breathing physical body. In this scenario, SAP is the nervous system. It connects the eyes on the warehouse floor directly to the brain in the executive suite, allowing the entire body to react to stimuli instantly. Okay, let's dive into this. I know enterprise software is famous for being incredibly dense and just packed with acronyms. But don't worry, we're going to break this down into a highly organized roadmap. We'll start with the concept of a single source of truth, map out the anatomy of SAP modules, see how they orchestrate end-to-end processes, look at how the software scales, explore the clean core and AI, and finally, bring it all back to true business value. So, Section 1, the single source of truth, real-time global data. To truly grasp what SAP does, we have to look at its foundational goal, which is providing an immutable, real-time, single source of truth across a company's entire global footprint. Basically, no more arguing in board meetings about whose spreadsheet is accurate. Now, this didn't just happen overnight. SAP started way back in 1972 by former IBM engineers in Germany using these massive mainframes. Fast forward to the 1990s, they revolutionized the market with SAP R3 using client-server architecture. But today, the platform is anchored by SAP S/4HANA, which completely changes the game with something called in-memory computing. So the crucial point here is S/4HANA's in-memory computing. Guys, this is a massive technical flex. In the past, databases were disk-based. You literally had to separate your daily transactions from your heavy analytics because running them together would just crash the system. Executives were always looking at yesterday's data. Well, S/4HANA completely eliminated that. It runs complex transactional processing, like scanning boxes, and analytical processing, like global revenue forecasting, simultaneously, in real time, right in a single unified data store. That reporting lag, it's completely gone. Moving on to Section 2, Anatomy of SAP Modules. Specialized Functions. Now that we have our powerful real-time brain, let's look at the organs of our enterprise body. SAP isn't just one big blob of code. It's built on highly specialized functional modules that all share a standardized data language. For instance, take Finance and Controlling, or FI/CO. They handle your general ledgers and internal cost tracking. Then you have Procurement and Inventory. That's the MM, or Materials Management module, optimizing your stock balances. Sales and Logistics rely on SD, Sales and Distribution, to automate billing. For manufacturing, you've got PP for production planning and QM for quality management. And finally, Human Capital, managed by HCM or SuccessFactors, handling global payroll and talent. Think of these as specialized departments that previously couldn't talk to each other, but are now speaking one universal language instantly. Section 3, Orchestrating End-to-End Processes. Automated Workflows. Having great individual organs is nice, but the true magic happens when they work together, turning static data into automated motion. This is the blood flow, the synapses firing across the nervous system. Let's look at the procure-to-pay, or P2P lifecycle. It's like a beautiful domino effect. Say a worker needs a part. Step 1, they create a purchase requisition in the MM module, which automatically generates an order to a vendor. Step 2, the physical goods arrive. The warehouse worker scans it, logging a goods receipt. Instantly, inventory counts update and a financial liability is logged over in the FI module. Step 3, the vendor's invoice arrives. The system does an automated three-way match, instantly verifying that the purchase order, the physical receipt, and the invoice all line up perfectly. And finally, Step 4, the system automatically triggers the financial payment. A physical need on the floor turns into an automated, error-free vendor payment across multiple departments. Now, let's move to and see how this builds in the exact opposite direction with the order-to-cash, or O2C lifecycle. A customer places an order in the SD module,
Bam! Step 1. A credit check hits the finance module instantly. Step 2. An available to promise or ATP check pings the warehouse and manufacturing modules to verify exact fulfillment timelines. Step 3. The goods are shipped, which is known as a goods issue. This physically removes the item from inventory and instantly records the cost of goods sold in the global ledger. Finally, Step 4. Automated billing hits the customer ledger. The real-time synchronization here is just absolutely incredible. I really want to emphasize the contrast here, because think about how absurd the old way was. Before integrated systems, these processes required manual data handoffs. Someone would literally walk a piece of paper from the loading dock all the way to the accounting office. Or IT would have to run an asynchronous batch process overnight just to sync two databases. That meant immense administrative overhead, massive inventory variances, and huge operational lags. SAP replaces all of that shebang with instant, real-time synchronization. All right, Section 4, Scaling Enterprise Deployment, Solutions for Any Scale. So how is this massive digital nervous system actually delivered? After all, not every company is the same body size, right? If you're a small to mid-sized business, you might use SAP Business One for affordable, centralized automation. But let's look at the cloud editions. If you're a mid-market enterprise that wants fast deployment with zero IT infrastructure maintenance, you use Grow with SAP. This is a multi-tenant SaaS architecture. Think of it kind of like renting a highly efficient modern apartment. You share the underlying building, but you get your own secure space running on pre-configured best practices. However, if you're a massive global corporation with complex legacy systems and intense regulatory needs, you use Rise with SAP. This is a single-tenant cloud. Actually, it's basically like building your own custom private house, giving you deep operational tailoring and completely controlled upgrades.
Section 5, Clean Core and Embedded AI, the intelligent future. We've talked about the modules and the deployment, but now we really need to look at the evolution of the system's brain. We need to address the technical debt of the past and welcome the intelligent automation of the future. See, the old way of managing the software was honestly a nightmare. Companies used to heavily modify their internal ABAP codebase, that's the underlying programming language of SAP, just to make it fit their quirky internal processes. This created a mountain of technical debt. Upgrading the software became a multi-million-dollar migraine that could literally break the whole company. But the new paradigm is the clean core. You leave the core S/4HANA software completely standardized and unmodified. If you need custom apps or third-party integrations, you just build them side by side on the SAP Business Technology Platform, or BTP. This means you can upgrade your core system easily, anytime, without breaking your custom workflows. And addressing that technical debt clears the path for exactly where SAP is heading next, which is embedded AI. Meet SAP Joule. Now, SAP isn't treating AI as some isolated, gimmicky add-on. Joule is a natural language generative AI copilot embedded directly into the core. Instead of clicking through complex menus, a user can just type or speak a request. Joule can analyze data across all those modules we talked about, generate operational reports, and even execute multi-step transactions. It completely transforms the system from a passive database you have to query into an active, intelligent assistant working right alongside you. Section 6, the true business value, real-world impact. Okay, we've covered in-memory computing, functional modules, and AI copilots. But let's bring all these technical concepts back down to earth and look at their fundamental, real-world impact. Organizations implement SAP for 4 core reasons. First, operational efficiency. You are automating manual entry and slashing error rates. Second, real-time enterprise visibility. No more information lags between a subsidiary in Asia and headquarters in London. Third, governance, risk, and compliance. Think about a pharmaceutical company relying on SAP's batch management to guarantee cold chain integrity, or a utility company using it to ensure smart meter billing compliance. Digital audit trails are just baked right in. And fourth, organizational scalability. It creates a foundation so adaptable that a company can acquire new business or pivot models rapidly without their software even breaking a sweat. Ultimately, here is your main takeaway. SAP provides the operational foundation required to manage complex global enterprises and adapt to changing market conditions. It is the integrated digital core that unifies finance, supply chain, and human capital into one cohesive, unstoppable force. By adopting a clean core architecture and embracing embedded AI, it ensures businesses aren't just reacting to the present, but are perfectly positioned for whatever the future holds. Which leaves us with this final thought. We've seen how SAP automates end-to-end processes and connects every facet of a business in literally milliseconds. But as AI copilots like Joule take the wheel,
actively predicting bottlenecks and executing multi-step transactions on our behalf? Are we approaching an era where the enterprise practically runs itself? It's an absolutely incredible frontier to consider. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring.